down south gradually. When it got to Kogi State, Kogi, then Ondo, we should have been trying to know that something might happen. There had been serious warnings then from some technocrats, from some stakeholders, from some elders, from some elder statesmen, from some traditional rulers, that we should be careful. These people are, getting down to the southwest. Okay, imagine what transpired between in Ojo the other time, I think 3 days ago, when altercations came up between one commercial Okada Malwa driver and a POS operator, and it turned to a fight. It turned to a serious gun fight. And can you imagine, inside those shanties along that area, Ojo area, I think they call it Strabag also, and guys, I don't know which extraction they came from, were entering those houses and bringing out assault rifles. How did those assault rifles get there in the first place? Well, that was what some people now said, that it has been on. They have been prepared for a long time that anything can happen, and it was subdued by the government and the security agencies too. The deputy governor got there and invited the leaders of the two tribes, the Hausa and the Yoruba.
So I think now, true, we are not security agents and we cannot teach the security agent operatives their job, but then there are certain things that border on common sense, and I think it makes sense now. Now that the Oluyole abductees are free, it is time for a major and massive mop-up operation in Old Oyo National Park to mop up the remnants of whatever terrorist elements are still hibernating in that park, whatever structures, whatever cells exist within that massive park. I don't know which is bigger, Old Oyo National Park or Sambisa Forest.
I think Sambisa is much more bigger.
Much more bigger. But then Old Oyo National Park stretching all the way from here to parts of Kogi, Kwara, Katsina, and all that. So I think this is the time, in collaboration with other states that share borders with the park. Talk of Kwara, talk of Kogi, every state that has I think they should all launch a massive operation, and this must be devoid of politicking. This is about Nigeria. This is about saving ourselves from these evil elements. So, and it shouldn't be long before this operation is launched to flush out these elements. Bimbo, if I had my way, if I had my way, Bimbo, and if not for the law, and I had my way, if I were those security operatives that carried the rescue operation, those 8 that were arrested would have been summarily executed on the spot.
Yes.
They do not deserve to live. My opinion, Bimbo. Yes. My honest opinion. Yeah, I'm sorry to be saying this on here, but to me, they do not deserve to live.
I second that motion. Sorry, that opinion.
So and maybe at best, maybe they could display their that would be gory, but then maybe they should just display their bodies for evidence.
Yes.
That that we have neutralized all of them. So for me, I would have supported that they should just be wiped out summarily.
And now this is the time for people should ensure that they are always security conscious, like we mentioned earlier. People, when they notice anything strange, they should talk. Go to the security agencies. Yes. Describe what you saw. You remember somebody mentioned one thing, that those people at the Oluyole local government area, the Esinele and Yawota, they had been living within the people. Imagine being a bread seller. You buy bread up to 50 loaves. You cannot sell about 10 or 15 in a day, and all of a sudden you now see that you exhausted all the bread supplies. When one person or 2 people come and they'll buy everything, bam, or beans or rice.
The whole akpe of ewa.
Yes. and they'll buy it, not knowing that they are planning for something evil, something heinous.
Those people you mentioned, they do not actually live within the people. They live in the forest, like animals, yes. Like the animals that they are. So, of course, they are of a particular extraction. So when they come like that and they buy that, well, until what really happened, when they come like that and they buy that bulk food, it makes sense to think that, okay, maybe they're herders, and then of course the others live out in the open. They are always on the move.
Yes.
So maybe it's for them to keep themselves alive as they are on the move. Maybe that is what those people were thinking until they struck and they realized that, oh, this is what this was all about in the first instance. But then, Bimbo, I don't know how, but I also think, and I guess the government will be thinking of this too, like you mentioned, proactive measures to ensure that this does not happen again. I have this feeling that their colleagues will be back, Bimbo, trying to effect a revenge mission or something like that. If their colleagues have indeed, if they have colleagues within that Oluyole National Park, by now they would have gotten wind of what happened. Some of them might have fled, but I have this feeling that if we don't take proactive measures, that they might be back.
Yes.
So we must be ready for them.
Yes, and
so I don't know how, Bimbo, but I guess that is up to the security agencies.
Yes, security agencies, and even the state governor and the Western Security Network too, with their collaboration. And I want to point out here, the authorities should not only focus on the Oluyole National Park. There are various forests everywhere, especially the Ibarapa area of Oyo State too. Yes, large expanse of forests. So, big task on your hands. And the release, the release of the abductees. Well, the opposition parties, including the People's Democratic Party, the Allied People's Movement, and the presidential candidate of the African Nation.
It was actually because ransom was paid that those people were released. Rescue operations that we do not hear that or anyone was arrested or no was neutralized. But now we ask those questions each time they tell us there was a rescue operation in any part of the country. But now those two questions have been answered. People were arrested. Perpetrators were arrested and perpetrators were indeed neutralized. So this is the real rescue operation, Bimbo. So, like I said, this is a wake-up call and a challenge to those governors that think that the best way to please or to make sure that terrorists stop plaguing their communities and societies is to send them on Hajj pilgrimage.
And people reacted, brazenly yesterday. Motorists, commercial cyclists, some parked along major roads to celebrate, while many residents offered prayers of thanksgiving. And scores of Okada riders and travelers parked their vehicles.
Mufta Okun Salawu was also at Jumat yesterday, and he also said a prayer for the already abductees, and thankfully that prayer and the prayer of millions of Nigerians has been answered.
Yes. Now the NUT too. Yes, the NUT was at the head of the call, for can we say protest or strike, that teachers should withdraw their services just to until these students were released from their abductors. Yes, they are responding. They are talking now. They are placing the federal government, the state government, and the security agencies, also the Nigeria Association of Nigeria Students. I believe Tola remembered when the students, the NUT, called out teachers that they should withdraw their services until the students were released. But again, along the line, they, following some meetings and some, agreements, they allow teachers to go back to their schools because they believe it will affect the, curriculum of the students in school, generally in Oyo State. Now, the NUT, Nigerian Union of Teachers, and the National Association of Nigerian Students (NANS), and the Association of Early Childhood and Basic Education Instructors in Nigeria welcomed the successful rescue of the pupils and teachers abducted in Oluyole local government area of Oyo State, describing the development as a major victory for the nation while calling for stronger measures to safeguard schools across Nigeria.
And okay, before we leave this, Bimbo, I have so much admiration for that woman,
yes,
the school
the
principal. I mean, she was kind of the rallying point. I wasn't there with them, Bimbo, but I guess she must have been the one that kept their hopes alive. From the videos we saw, Bimbo, despite that she looked intimidated, she looked threatened, but beyond that veil of intimidation and that veil of being coerced, you could see beyond. If you look hard enough, you could see beyond that shield. You could see resilience. You could see that shield of resilience. You could see that she was ordinarily a strong person. Any other person would have been broken, and I guess as the school principal. And of course, it was not only from our school that people were abducted, but then she kind of became the rallying point. The others must have looked up to her throughout that ordeal to keep their hopes alive, to keep them strong. A hope that this will be over soon. And I guess she never once faltered. Even yesterday, she looked tired, emaciated, and all that. But then you could still see that strength in her. And that she's someone I admire, Bimbo, a lot. For being able to take them through all this, and I guess kudos to her for ensuring that, I mean, yes, it was security agency that did it, but then she was the one that kept their spirits alive. That is my assumption, Bimbo. She was the one that kept all of them full of hope that no, we will get out of this. We will surely get out of this.
Yes, and the prayers of the husband, I can't remember the name now, a prof at the
professor.
Yes, at the Laduka University. I think the campus in maybe they were saying also. I think he will be so happy, very happy. His prayers did not just go in vain. And they were told that let me just quickly go through how this operation, took place. Now it was. Well, the operation, according to the security reports, troops advanced into the forest along multiple axes over a 3-week period, gradually constricting the terrorist movement and forcing them into a confined enclave. The ground maneuver was said to be backed by sustained intelligence surveillance and reconnaissance support from ONSA assets, alongside close air support from the Air Force and the police. The report claimed the operation led to the destruction of communication nodes and logistics caches used by the terrorists, and that all key landmarks within the operational area were eventually seized, degrading the group's command structure without harm coming to the captives. And security agencies also reportedly conducted parallel operations against the group's support network, arresting alleged associates, informants, and enablers in communities near the forest, as well as detaining family members of purported Ansaru operatives in other parts of the country. And these measures, the report stated, triggered a wave of defections that saw most of the terrorists abandon their leader and the enclave. Well, President Tinubu also reacted. He has reacted. He confirmed the release of the captives yesterday evening, yes, like we read earlier, and he was very full of profound joy and of this successful release and rescue of the children and teachers.
So all these that have been mentioned, like I said, why haven't the security agencies been doing all these before, or what has been stopping them in other areas where similar incidents have occurred? Of course, I'm only asking the question. I know the answer. It's the political elite, the political class that keep on frustrating these grand efforts to end kidnapping for ransom, terrorism, and banditry once and for all in this country. Like I said, kudos to the security agencies, and what we need to do now is to ensure that this never happens again, never again. Governor Seyi Makinde, well, he kept his word. He said they will be rescued, and they have been rescued. And imagine a storm operation that all the abductees were rescued on hot. And I always say one thing. I always said one thing while all this lasted, that these are people that they do not want to die. Well, like I repeat, I'm not a security agent, but I guess that when that storm operation occurs, this kind of people, the perpetrators, what they will be doing is to be trying frantically to defend themselves or to escape, because they also do not want to die. The type that are ready to die are not the ones that will ask for ransom, are not the ones that will ask for maybe the release of somebody or whatever. Those ones that are ready to die, they act, they are prepared, they are fueled by ideologies. The ideology that tells them that when they die, that a particular comfortable place awaits them in the afterlife. Those are the ones that are ready to die. Those are the ones that will not mind them wiring all the entire enclave with explosives, so that if they were ready to die, but why didn't they do that? So that they would have wired the entire perimeter with explosives, so that themselves and all the hostages would be gone in that conflagration. They didn't do that because they also do not want to die, and that is what I think should have been leveraged upon by the security agencies in other parts of the country where this has happened. Just me talking as the layman here, Bimbo.
And well, the storm, the leader of the storm troop, the storm team, that it was led by the general officer commanding 2 Division Nigerian Army, Ibadan, Major General C.R. Nebefe, in collaboration with special units from the Office of the National Security Advisor, specifically the National Counter-Terrorism Center, the Defense Headquarters, with special forces elements from the Nigerian Army, Navy, the Air Force, and the Nigeria Police.
Does Almanjiri Commission have to do with roads? I'm just wondering, but I thought it was the purpose by the name of the commission is to take out of school children off the streets, to take the Almanjiri, specifically in northern Nigeria, off the streets. Well, it says the National Commission for Almanjiri and Out of School Children Education was allocated 24.4 billion in the last 2 years for road construction and other projects outside its core statutory mandates. Investigations have reviewed. You see now, Bimbo. So when these children now become a problem, when they get recruited by bandits and terrorists, we begin to scream blue murder. Now, checks on 2025 and 2026 appropriation act showed that the commission was assigned billions of naira for National Assembly constituency projects, including road rehabilitation, solar street lights, medical equipment, and other community development projects, and not taking those children off the streets. The commission, however, explained that the controversial projects were not initiated as part of its programs, but were constituency projects sponsored by members of the National Assembly and domiciled in its budget for implementation. Constituency projects meant to be executed by members of the National Assembly, now inserted into the budget of the Almanjiri Commission. According to the 2025 Appropriation Act, the Almanjiri Commission received a total budget of 31 billion naira, out of which about 14 billion naira was allocated to constituency projects considered unrelated to its mandate. You see the high level of corruption. So they will go and take money from the commission to
the money allocated for the Almanjiri rehabilitation.
And if indeed, even if what is left after 14 billion was taken, even if what is left has been maybe for just even in a period of 2 years, if that has been used for the Almanjiri in northern Nigeria, those children will be off the streets by now if it has been properly used. Those children will be sitting in classrooms by now. Those children will be making meaning of their lives by now. But here we are, Nigeria also happens to the Almanjiri Commission.
Well, this one says troops arrest Chadian woman ferrying drugs, alcohol to terrorists in Borno. Woman, and this woman looks like a middle-aged woman. Yes, yes. Rachel Samuel, 48, a Chadian national from Kelu in the Chali Bagourme province of the Republic of Chad, was intercepted along the Maiduguri-Monguno Road in Borno State, and that is according to the acting military information officer of OPHK, Captain Mohammed Goni, and he disclosed this in a statement yesterday, saying the suspect was arrested on Thursday, July 9, following credible intelligence reports. That is what we always say: people from outside ferrying drugs and alcohol into Nigeria, into Borno State, most especially, and parts of the northeast and north, to terrorists. And well, I don't know. And I'm sure there will be a network, not that she will enter the bush or their hideouts to give them this consignment.
Governor Shemakide was in Bauchi State, and he said certain things, talking politics now, about the political situation in Nigeria. And he spoke on many things while he was addressing journalists. Now, he says Nigeria in its darkest political moments. That's coming from Governor Sheyi Makinde. He also spoke on his presidential running mates, and Bauchi Governor, APM National Chairman, say party will reset, reboot Nigeria. The presidential candidate of the Opposition Allied People's Movement, APM, for the 2027 general election and sitting governor of Oyo State, Engineer Sheyi Makinde, has declared that Nigeria is passing through its darkest political moment, describing the current political environment as toxic. Now, Makinde, who is also the governor of Oyo State, made the declaration in Bauchi on Friday, while speaking with journalists shortly after a closed-door meeting with Bauchi State Governor Senator Bala Abdul Kadir Mohammed, the national chairman of the APM, and other party leaders and stakeholders at the Ramath House, Bauchi. He said, being in opposition, the political environment, yes, it is very toxic. It is in the darkest moments. I can say that to you, but having said that, when the day is about to break, that is the darkest point. So I can give assurance to Nigerians that irrespective of the challenges we are faced with, the day is about to break for a new dawn in the country, and tomorrow the sun will start rising again for Nigeria. And well, on the strength of the APM to win the 2027 general election, he said, in Oyo State in 2019, as an opposition party, then in the PDP, the APC was ruling at the federal level, the APC was ruling at the state level in Oyo State, but we won. He added, the same thing is going to happen this time around. They must not suppress the will of the people. They must not suppress whatever decision they are going to take. We will ensure that that does not happen. We will not allow any electoral malpractice. The outcome must reflect the voice of Nigerians. Well, who is they, Bimbo? And well, he also said something here. I'm fast forwarding now, and quoting the governor now on insecurity in Oyo State. He said, "You need to situate things in proper perspective. I want you to note two major things. One, this is my very first job in public office, and I've been on this job for 7 years and about 2 months. The insecurity you mentioned happened 2 months ago on May 15. So, for several years, we didn't witness anything like this in Oyo State. I declared to run for the presidency of Nigeria at 4 p.m. And by 9 a.m. the following morning, the children were abducted." Governor Sheyi Makinde. Well, I don't know if the governor was away in Bauchi at the time the rescue operation took place, and initially, it looked very much like the state governments, well, until they issued them statement. The first statement coming from the Commissioner for Information. The first statement from Oyo State.
From Oyo State, yes.
Coming from Prince Dr. the Commissioner for Information and Orientation. Initially, it looked as if the Oyo State government was not privy to the rescue operation. But of course, we later got to know that that wasn't the case. That everyone that is supposed to be involved was actually involved. But initially, or maybe Mr. Ononuga was the one that rushed to the press. So there was that impression that perhaps the Oyo State government was not privy to the rescue operation.
Yes.
But the information we have at the moment is that the hostages, initially there was this rumor that they were flown straight to Abuja. But we later got to know that that wasn't the situation, that they were actually taken to the Lautech Teaching Hospital for medical checks, and that as at yesterday night, they said they were still being expected at Agodi Government House, and the governor will be receiving them. So we'll be getting an update on that later in the day. So
yes, all that matters is that they have been rescued. Yes. Before we go to, because so many people will be wanting to make their contributions, book of matrimonial oddities.
I told you that just a few headlines. Oyo Osun boundary clash. I shot Shegun dead, but it was in self-defense. Suspected killer admits. And also have 27 presidency. Shetima survives APC power intrigues. Retains position as Tinubu's running mate. Right, quickly to the book of matrimonial oddities now. And INEC warns against fake civil website PVC delivery scam. Right, okay, I fell ill from the book of matrimonial oddities now. I fell ill in UK, had to come back home. Yet my wife demanded 5 million naira. Well, you are coming from the UK, the land of gold, and as your wife believes. And my husband starved me, lavished money on his lovers, slept with them on our bed, woman tells court. And okay, I fed our 5 children for 2 years after my husband deserted us. That's coming from a wife. And the husband says he was ill and then receiving treatment.
Yeah. So that's with the lines now.
Okay, let's open the phone lines.
Hello, good morning. Hello, good
Good
morning.
morning. Good morning.
Ojo Michael, calling from Oluyole.
Good to have you, Mr. Ojo Michael.
Oh, I hope you are with me.
We are with you, Mr. Ojo Michael.
Yes, I want to say happy weekend to you. And at the same time, I want to say congratulations to Nigerians, especially the Oyo State people and people of Oluyole local government, and to Yamusura and all the rest. And listen to you, don't find there, even this with this US. Because the way this thing was going on, the way you analyze over there is very, very good. Yes, I want to also congratulate this woman, Mama Ogolua. She said in this week that one day we will come to this radio station that this is what rescue, and that prophecy came true today, yesterday. We thank God for everything. Yes, let me just listen, sir. If the political will is there, we can get rid of this terrorists. If the will is there, we can get rid of them. So what we are doing is this: let us throw them out from Nigeria, from all the forests in Nigeria, because the way this is going on now, it is not even good. If US can get rid of Osama bin Laden, that means we can get rid of this criminals. If they are not criminals, how do you expect human beings to be living inside the bush? God bless you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much,
Mr. Ojo Michael. 070 5555 1985. That's the number to call. 070 5555 1985.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, I'm calling from this channel.
Good to have you, Yamusura.
The glory and peace of God and bless of God will be support of us in Nigeria.
Amen.
Subhanallahi min halini shani walhamdulillahi min adli shani la ilaha illallah min halini shani Allahu akbar min halini shani. Èmi kan sára sọ́lọ́run ọba, àwọn kan sára sọ́lọ́run ọba. Ọba tí ò tó ju àdúrà sí wa, ọba tí ẹ̀já tó tí ó wọ̀rọ̀ wá o, àwa kan sára sọ́lọ́run ọba. The reason I say that's not just because of our children and children that bandits are brought at Oluyole. That God Almighty help us to bring them out in life. Secondly, my thanks go to our federal government, state governor of Oyo State, Engineer Sebi. God will give him long life and strong health so that we will rule Oyo State in short time by the grace of God.
All right, thank you very much,
Monsura. Yes, sir. Keep the calls coming. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
I can be from Iwo.
Good to have you, sir.
This is one of the best days in my life. I greatly rejoice with the families of those people whose people are released, while commiserating with the families of those who have lost their life in the saga. God will continue on to bless us in Nigeria, Oyo State, Osun State, in Jesus' name.
Amen.
I'm very happy. But Mr. Tola, those people who agitated for the payment of ransom cannot be blamed so much, because, as they say, experience is the best teacher. I remember years back when in Delta State, Asaba in particular, a man, 70-year-old man, was kidnapped, and he has his children successfully tried out for all the world. They demanded for $30 million then. They went via the kidnappers. After the elapsation of the days stipulated that the payment should be made, they did it. So, 3 days later, they have the children. And these children insisted they will not pay. Against the plea of the headers of the town. Eventually, the kidnappers have the children to go and meet their daddy. They have released him at the back of where a primary school, Obandi Primary School, I can still remember. When we got there, they met the head, the leg, the hand apart. They have killed him. Do you know the people of the town rose to stone the children? Because you have the realm with that. Why did you waste the life of your father? That's the thing some people are saying the ransom should be paid. At the end of the day, we praise the name of the Lord. God bless you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I always said that if it's about ransom payment, and if that is the only way, that so be it, or even releasing those that they wanted to be released. But my grouse is actually with the establishment, political establishment all over this country, where they always give us the impression that there is no other way, whereas there are things they could have done. If the security agencies had been on their toes, probably, that 70-odd man that you talked about, if they had done what they are supposed to do, maybe they trusted the security agencies and they were disappointed. So people prefer to pay ransom because of that trust deficit.
Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Oh, please
Hello.
to call us back. We can't hear you. We'll keep the calls coming. 070-5555-1985. That is the number to call. I'll be part of conversation this morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We thank God for the release of those teachers and children. We thank God for everything that has happened. And those who facilitated their release, we thank God for them too. But I always have because where are those guys? Those criminals. Where are they? So, don't let me say any other thing again. You just let us thank God for now. But second thing is, why do you have to face the camera and be thanking the president and thanking the governor for release? Why must they be appreciating them? Why should they be appreciating? Let those people keep quiet for now. And say, why must you use politics in this kind of situation again? That we are thanking them. That you invite them to Agodi now, and you invite them to Abuja, and the town photo and everything. And what do you mean? All those kind of posters. What does it mean? I don't know. I don't understand. So let these people be rehabilitated and go back to their homes and do your job as government. That such occurrence will not occur. So thank you.
Thank you. As your question that where are the perpetrators? Well, 8 of them, like we said,
arrested.
Have been arrested and are in DSS custody.
Yes.
As we speak, and some of them were neutralized. That is the report.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Nadimala from Rwanda. On this Oluyole abductees, you see, they were abducted, and people, security agencies wanted the Oluyole victims released, rescue. So the media, the radio, even on this program, security agencies struggled through, and they were rescued. So we just thank God for everything. So the security agency saw the problems, and they addressed the problems. And we appreciate the services of the team of the administration and the security agency and other people on the media and other things. So they have shown something for it in output. So the security agencies must continue to work in the battle against terrorism and others. So we appreciate their service of them, and we appreciate the effort of people on this program and everything.
Yes.
So on this corruption and other things, so money should be allocated to the right people, and the people should do the needful. People should not do what's wrong, and money should not go the way of.
All right, thank you. Right, time is fast spent, and we have to go. Been an interesting time on conversation, and we will be back same time Monday morning, God willing. My name is Tola Teriba.
And my name is Bimbo Akombi. Thank you very much for listening. Enjoy your weekend.
Conversation. Oluyole FM.
It's another beautiful Saturday morning, and time check at 7:31 a.m. and it's sport time right here on Oluyole 98.5 FM, the Trailblazer, the pride of the nation, and of course you know the best in the West. Boluwaji Ogumala is here once again with all the news that you can use in the beautiful and ever exciting world of sport. Bring you the latest, the hottest, and the juiciest sport news making the rounds this beautiful morning. Well, it's no longer news that France and Spain will go head-to-head in the semi-finals of this year's FIFA World Cup holding in North America, following Spain's 2-1 victory over Belgium. At the victorious outing for France 2 days ago. And of course today it's more or less a Premier League reunion as Norway with the likes of Erling Haaland
Martin Odegaard will be facing England. The likes of Bukayo Saka and the likes. Maybe it's going to look like more or less a Premier League game, really. Well, that is what it is. 10 p.m. tonight, the two teams will go head to head in Norway and England. We'll definitely preview that particular game. We'll be listening to Erling Haaland and Bukayo Saka this beautiful morning. But let's kickstart the show from the local front and talk to you about a development set to happen in the Nigeria Premier Football League. Chairman of the National Sports Commission, Madam Shehu Diko, has defended the federal government's intervention in Nigeria's domestic football league, describing the initiative as a necessary step towards repositioning the competition for sustainable growth. Speaking amid criticism of the government's financial support for the league, Diko said the intervention was intended to create an enabling environment for the Nigeria Premier Football League (NPFL) to attract investment, improve competitiveness, and strengthen its commercial appeal. Well, he said this about 2 days ago when he hosted journalists to explain, to clarify things to them. The former chairman of the LMC,